Howdy folks, Dreadshells here, and welcome back to World of Tanks. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a game that I had in my LTTB on the Mountain Pass map, and I get asked occasionally in my YouTube video comments what is my most favorite tank or my most favorite scout tank in World of Tanks. Some people will look at my service record and they'll say, is it the WZ-131, the Tier 7 Chinese scout tank, or the T-71, the Tier 7 American scout tank? And I'll say no, it's the LTTB. This tank, this machine right here, is my most favorite tank and my most favorite scout tank in World of Tanks. It is incredibly responsive. It is a very, very responsive machine. It has really good traverse. It has really good horsepower to ton ratio. It's quick, it's agile, has a really good gun, 85 millimeter with good pen. It has 170 millimeters of penetration with AP and 216 millimeters of penetration with APCR. And an interesting feature of this vehicle that I think is often overlooked is that it has really good HE shells. Maybe not in the penetration category, but it has 300 alpha damage with its HE shells. And considering that you go from 180 to 300, that is a huge jump in alpha damage from AP to HE. So if you're shooting at Scorpions and Borsigs and Guerrilla 15s and all that kind of stuff, if you have any HE loaded, you can tear those tanks apart really, really quickly. And before all the gold spammer judges come out of the woodwork, the LTTB is my baby. It's the tank that I love the most in World of Tanks, and because of that, it gets the best treatment. So I put food on this vehicle, and I load all premium ammo in this vehicle. Now, I did a video not too long ago of a game that I had on Murovanka in my LTTB without commentary, but I showed you guys the statistical charts of the difference that I played 100 games in the LTTB shooting only AP ammo and just a normal consumable loadout with repair kit, first aid kit, and fire extinguisher. And then I played 100 games in the LTTB with shooting nothing but APCR ammo and using food. And the difference was huge. So I think that it's obvious that I'm not advocating that everyone should be shooting only premium ammo in the LTTB. Everyone can play their tank however they want, and everyone has different play styles and likes different tanks that they like to play. But for me, the statistical benefit of this loadout is just undeniable for myself. So this is why I have the loadout the way it is. And if you're curious on the results that I got from the difference in the loadouts that I have, click the eye icon now in the top right hand corner of the screen, and that will take you to the video that I made showing the difference that the premium ammo and food makes for this vehicle. But yeah, like I said, besides that, the LTTB is my baby. It is my most favorite tank in World of Tanks, and it has one of my best crews that I have in World of Tanks as well. I'm closing in on finishing out my 5th skill and getting close to starting my 6th skill in this vehicle. I think I'm at like 75-80%, something like that on my current skill on my crew, and can't wait to get it better. But anyway, I've been rambling too much. Let's just start the game. Now, Mountain Pass is a very difficult map for scouts traditionally. It used to be better a while back. You had more opportunity to get better vision across this early mid gap here. That's you get vision across the center bowl area at the start of games. Normally I sit in this bush right here. I'll pause the game here. Normally I sit in this bush right here, but I am inching my way a little bit further. If you look at this view range circle, sorry for the pinging there. I paused the battle at a really annoying time. But if you look at the view range circle, in World of Tanks, there's a mechanic where you cannot spot anything beyond 445 meters. All right, and this is what this white circle is right here. However, your view range is higher than that. And if you think of view range like a sword, right? It's an offensive weapon that you're using to try and spot the enemy. And the enemy's defense is their camo rating, right? Their shield, so to say, their shield of camo rating. Your view range is attacking their camo rating to try and cut through it and spot them. Now, you can't spot any tank beyond 445 meters, but if you have, for instance, I think I have almost 500 meters view range on my LTTB with this loadout and with my skills, just with coated optics. All that view range is going to cut through a lot of the camo rating of tanks. And I'm inching up here to try to spot the enemy, as a lot of them like to hug this southern mountain so they don't get spotted. So I'm moving a few meters ahead of this bush, and I'm relying on the camo rating of my tank to keep me from getting spotted. And if by chance an enemy tank rushes into the middle bowl area, the LTTB is very quick and reactive, and I can drive over here and get into cover and likely not get shot. So that's what I'm doing here. So just being patient here, waiting for spots. You got to remember that when you're playing a scout, you're a lot faster than a lot of the tanks, other tanks on your team and on the enemy team. So usually that you will get into position before the enemy starts crossing the same near position. Getting some nice vision here and some nice shots. And we're able to pump out 4 shells into the enemy heavies crossing there, make that 5 shells. And we're able to cause a lot of significant damage to those heavies as they cross into the south west side of the map. A low percentage shot there that I probably shouldn't have taken. And I get spotted for taking it. But we were basically able to cause 2,000 hit points worth of damage spread across all those heavies that were pushing into that side of the map. And now you will see what the limitations of Mountain Pass can do. I can't move over here to the southwest because I don't want to brawl with all these tier 8 heavies frontally. I don't want to move. Let's see if I can go into free cam here. Good, I can. Okay. I don't want to move into the center bowl area, and I'll explain why. In early game, and especially from the northwest spawn, and I'll explain why. The southeast spawn over here gets an advantage that the north spawn doesn't. If you look over here, they get this H3, H4 bolt, perch, or balcony, or whatever you want to call it. Up here, if you look here on the minimap, they get this extra perch that the north team doesn't, right? And so if you try to push into this bowl early, and you're not playing in clan wars battles or organized team play, and it's just a normal pub match, right? Where you are relying on traditional meta positioning of your teammates, you will get wrecked if you go here early usually, because all the enemy team has to do is they drive over here, hug this side of the mountain to get a better angle of attack on you, and they can just shoot you. And I'll see if I can speed up the angle here. They will just go up to this perch here like this and come up here and shoot you in the back over and over and over and over again. And there's nowhere for you to go. You can try to, if you want to get into cover from them, you can drive down under here to get underneath their gun line, right? But then you're exposing yourself to fire from their tanks that are sitting here in G5 and in G6. And if you try to run over here, all the way over here into cover, like into this gap right here, underneath the bridge right here, then you will be exposing yourself to fire from them the entire time. And if you want to cross into this side, you're going to be exposing yourself to fire from enemy tanks that are sitting where the super Pershing is. So I don't think that going to where this Cromwell is over here, down into the bowl early, is a good decision. So I can't go there either. I can't go over to the bridge area because I don't want to fight enemy tanks frontally once again, and I don't want to go to the ice road for the exact same reason. So my options here, as I'm sitting here in this mid gap, are very limited. I'm just trying to continue to get sniper fire in and whatever tanks might be exposing themselves here and waiting for the battle to unfold, and then me react to whatever's happening. See the Tiger P is exposing himself there to shoot our Cromwell. Kind of a lazy shot there, I should have been more careful. Go for the tracking shot there to keep the Tiger held down. Try to go for another tracking shot, but it looks like he's going to get back into cover. But we sneak a shot in there before he reverses behind the mountain, and we are able to take him out. So the Tiger P and his teammates killed our Cromwell, but they traded a tier 7 heavy for a tier 6 scout, and they also, a tier 6 medium, that is, and they also traded their easy 8 Sherman as well. So our team came out on top in that engagement. Get some assistance damage there on the 25-2 as he's crossing the mid gap there. Now I'm going to pause the game again. When you're playing tanks with a lot of mobility but not a lot of armor on Mountain Pass, unless you can coordinate with a significant number of your teammates, you usually can't be very aggressive, and usually you end up being very reactive. And I'm reacting to what's going on over here. Alright, right at the start of the game, remember when I spotted all those tier 8 heavies crossing over here? We were on a timer, a mental timer. Eventually the enemy will realize that we don't have a lot of tanks over here. They pushed around the corner, they realized that we didn't have anyone in J2, and they're finally starting to run into our Tiger 2. And our Tiger 2 is the only tank over here, right? So I'm anticipating that how the battle is going to unfold is that they're going to be, he might get a few shots in, but our Tiger 2 cannot win this fight, right? And he's not fast enough to run away, right? So he should have tried to anticipate this as well and maybe sat back here further in F2 or over here, and we would have been able to help him better. But what I'm doing here is I'm relocating back up here to where the Scorpion G is, which is traditionally the northwest spawn's Artie Hill. But from this position, you can actually shoot down this western road, and you can shoot tanks as they start to come around the corner. So I'm relocating here to potentially get shots on the enemy heavies as they push our Tiger 2, and if they keep pushing even further. It has to be said, of course, that the northwest spawns Artie/sniping perch up here. If you do hug the left side here, you actually can get vision down the bridge here. And just as we thought, the Tiger 2 on our team dies fairly quickly. Just he had too many guns shooting back at him, and he wasn't able to stand up to their fire. And now we can start pumping shell after shell after shell into all the enemy tanks that are advancing down this western road. This is a situation where I would have not maybe have done damage if I've been shooting AP shells, at least at the front of the T-32 before he gave me his side. Of course, the kill shot bounces, but we have a really quick reload. With the loadout that I have just slightly over a 4-second reload. 4.03 seconds, I believe, is my reload. And even though our Tiger 2 died, we're able to avenge him, so to say, and we killed the T-32 and the VK-4502A. And now, because the T-10 there is really low on HP, and now really low on HP because our AMX AC-48 put another shell into him, now I can potentially kill this guy. Take a blind shot there. Might have done damage, might have not. We'll see in a moment. Looks like we bounced or missed. Get one shot in. Unfortunately, don't roll high, so we have to put a second one in, but of course the kill shot bounces. The front of the T10, the Tier 8 Chinese Heavy, has decent armor, and I'm not sure. I tried to shoot the flat pike nose plate that was flattest to me. Not sure why I decided to shoot the STRV there. It was actually a really bad misplay, looking at it in hindsight. Now I'm moving in here to secure on the secure the kill on the T10, which I should have done earlier. Doing some zigzag wiggling here to juke the Tiger 2, and we get around to his side before he's able to rotate. And with the help of one of our teammates, I think that was the AMX AC-48, who put a shell into the Tiger 2 while he was trying to turn from me, we were able to put a couple more shells into the Tiger 2 and secure the kill and finish up the game. But I wanted to show you guys this replay because I don't show a lot of replays on corridor type maps, and specifically I don't show a lot of replays on Mountain Pass in Scouts, simply because it's very difficult to have really good games on maps like these, because you can't push the tempo of the battle in a Scout or in a soft armored medium or a soft armored tank destroyer, like maybe you can in other semi-open maps like Erlenberg or open maps like Prokhorovka, where you basically have to let the tanks on your team with armor dictate the pace of the game and support them as best you can. So kind of playing follow the leader, which is kind of the opposite of what I'm used to in playing Scouts. I like to push the tempo of the game and make the battle happen on my terms and not let the battle happen to me, so to say. But sometimes that option isn't available to you on maps like Mountain Pass. Also, the other reason I haven't showed you guys a game in the LTTB in a while, so I hope you guys enjoyed watching the gameplay in this awesome Tier 7 Russian Scout, which will be being bumped up to a Tier 8 Scout when the Tier 10 Scouts are released, I believe. So that'll be interesting to see how it may or may not keep its role if when it gets bumped up. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Happy hunting and take care.